This video is brought to you by hoodbeast.com. Design your own custom hoodies. hoodbeast.com. We are beast.
Yo, what is up guys? It's me, Zachary. Thank you for joining me back on that grind for 200K, hashtag a million a year. Y'all already know that you are the real MVP. You know, if you haven't become a part of the hashtag million a year movement yet, then you know there's still some space. You can still sign up, you can still join, it ain't too late. But anyways though, moving on, have you guys ever been happy to be proven wrong about something? I woke up this morning and saw something that went directly against what I had said a few days ago, and it made me beyond happy to see that. Like, this is one of those things that I just really wanted to be wrong about. Matter of fact, I was happy for a couple of reasons this morning. First off, huge shout out to Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook low-key had been making me kind of upset so far this year because we all see how great Russell Westbrook can be. We know what his strengths are on the basketball court, and we know what his weaknesses are on the basketball court. But it seemed like Russell Westbrook himself just wasn't willing to acknowledge what some of those or all of those weaknesses were. So he wasn't willing to admit that he isn't, I'll say, an elite shooter from the three-point land. Despite how big of a Russell Westbrook fan you are, you have to acknowledge that the man can't really shoot from beyond the arc. It's proven. Yet despite knowing this, there were still games where Russell Westbrook would shoot 1 of 12, 0 of 8, 1 of 10 from deep. It was like, what are you doing? Stop shooting those. And of course he would have those random games where he would shoot 7 of 10 from 3, which would make all the other games seem completely oblivious, like, oh, he can shoot. But in actuality, that was 1 out of every 10 to 15 games where he would have a game like that, and the rest of the games in between when he was having those 7 of 10 outings from deep, they weren't anything good. But he has been cutting down on the amount of three-pointers that he has taken over the past handful of games. After that 1 of 12 three-point shooting performance that he had against Memphis, he has only attempted more than 3 threes in a game once, and the game that he did it was in that ridiculous overtime game that the Thunder played against the Sixers, where he attempted 5 threes. So it seems like Russell Westbrook is playing more to his strengths right now, and it showed. He had another great game yesterday, 30 points and 15 assists, 12 of 17 from the field. This is Russell Westbrook at his absolute best. This is Russell Westbrook playing like he is a top 5 player in the NBA. And like I said, I was happy to see that the trend continued last night, but that's not what I was the happiest about. Is that right? Saying happiest, I was the happiest. Is that right? It doesn't matter. The thing that I was happy to be proven wrong about was in regards to Carmelo Anthony. See, I said that Carmelo Anthony would never accept playing a role like Trevor Ariza has or Ryan Anderson has on the Houston Rockets, when I said that the Rockets might have gotten lucky that they didn't get to trade for Carmelo Anthony because he wouldn't be down with accepting a role like that, which could have hurt the success that they are having so far this year. He will never be just a catch and shoot from deep type player. That's what I said, and that's what I truly believed at the time. But like I said, I was proven wrong, as yesterday the Thunder used Carmelo Anthony in that role all night long. There were no more ISO in the post or ISOs in the mid-range where he takes 16, 17, 18 seconds to get off a shot. There was none of that, or there wasn't much of that. Instead, he was playing the pick and roll game with Russell Westbrook and catching and shooting open threes, and that's pretty much it, which has to be a tough transition for Melo. His entire career, he had been used to going out there and getting his own, working for those shots. Now he's been reduced to sort of a lesser role, I guess you could say, but that's just what needed to happen. That's kind of what happened to Chris Bosh and Kevin Love. That's what Klay Thompson's role is on the Warriors most of the time too. It's just the nature of being the third guy on the team. Yesterday, Melo attempted 12 threes, and guess what? He looked really good doing it too. Melo played the role really well, hitting 7 of those 12 triple attempts. He had 24 points on the night, and after the game, after the Thunder beat the Hawks 120 to 117, thanks to a Russell Westbrook triple with like a second to go, by the way, Melo, in his interview, you could tell that he wasn't used to his new role. It might not be a role that he ever saw himself playing, but it seems like he's willing to do it as long as it's helping the team get wins.
I think for me it's just a matter of accepting that role, and that's all it is. You know, realizing this is what it's going to be. These are the type of shots I'm going to get. this is the type of offense we're going to be running, and accepting that and working on that role. And that's something that I've kind of been doing over the past week. Just allowing myself to accept that role and do whatever I have to do to make this team win.
Winning cures a lot of things. I think the more he plays this role, and if the Thunder continue to win with him playing this role, he will come to love the role he's playing, because he'll relate this role with winning. He's like, if I go out and do this, then we have a really good chance of getting a win. And if he's not willing to do that, the dude just doesn't deserve to be in the NBA, because clearly he doesn't know what it takes to win. If he ever wants to get rid of the stigma of being selfish, not being able to win games, then this is what it's going to take. This is what he has to do. So all that being said, keep proving me wrong, OKC. I want you to prove me wrong. James Harden once again goes off for 51 points. His second 51-point game in a row, back-to-back 50-point games. He is the first player to do this since back in 2007 when Kobe Bryant himself did it. That's a huge accomplishment. But after the Rockets lost the game to the Clippers because of Austin Rivers having a career game with 36 points, as well as Lou Williams dropping 32 off the bench, James Harden didn't care much about his achievement. He was more upset with the way the game was being officiated.
Was that? Bullshit calls.
Was it the offensive fouls or just some of the shooting foul calls?
A little bit of both. A little bit of everything. I'm tired of hearing I made a mistake or I didn't see it. Like it's frustrating when you hear that as a player. I know we all make mistakes, but it's just frustrating.
The first guy since Kobe in 2007
we lost. That was nice.
If you're a Houston fan, you sympathize with James Harden. You think, yeah, there were some pretty bad calls in that game that could have shifted the outcome, which is fair to say. We all know that feeling. But if you aren't a Rockets fan, then you're sitting back like, is James Harden, the guy who shoots 15 plus free throws a game, really out here complaining about the refs? And I can see what those people are saying too. Most of the time when players complain about the refs, it's because they're not getting calls. Harden always gets calls. But it is what it is. See, here is my thing about blaming refs for losing. When you are clearly the better team, like the Houston Rockets, you shouldn't allow the game to get to a point where a couple of bad calls can be the reason that you win or you lose. You should be looking to put that game away, far out of reach, so no matter what the officials do, unless it is just something so unbelievable, it shouldn't matter because the game is already won. It's that simple. And yes, there is the excuse that the Rockets weren't healthy last night too. They were missing Chris Paul and Clint Capella. By the way, every game that the Rockets play without Clint Capella shows how much they need Clint Capella, because with Clint Capella, they are a really good defensive team. Without him, they look like the Houston Rockets from years past on the defensive end, which ain't very good at all. And yeah, missing Chris Paul is really big too, but you can't use that excuse of, oh, we didn't have two of our starters when going up against the Los Angeles Clippers. That's a franchise that doesn't know what it means to have all their starters available to them at the same time. Since the birth, since the creation of the Los Angeles Clippers, they have never been healthy, so that cannot be an excuse for why they lost. And also, there's no time to panic either about the Houston Rockets. The team can lose 2 games in a row and still be a really freaking good team, one of the best teams in the NBA. Kyle Kuzma looked really good again yesterday, 27 points, 14 rebounds. The man ain't a regular rookie. That's a rookie veteran right there. And Lonzo Ball, how about Lonzo Ball? 24 points. 5 of 6 from deep. I'm trying to tell y'all, he's starting to turn the corner with his shooting, but in reality, none of that mattered because their opponents were the Golden State Warriors. They've already played the Golden State Warriors 3 times this year. Now, that's tough right there. And of course, all 3 times resulted in losses for the Lakers too. 113-106 was the final score this time. Draymond Green returned to the lineup for the Warriors yesterday after missing his past few games, and he was just his usual self. 13 points, 11 rebounds, and 7 assists, while his twin, Jordan Bell, was out there putting in work 20 points and 10 rebounds for the rookie. And I'll just take this time to mention once again that Chicago sold this guy for a couple million on draft night, and they're gonna regret that for a very long time. And then KD, you know, he was KD, Kevin Durant, 33 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, 4 blocks. What can we expect from him now? I mean, it's the Warriors, still no Stephen Curry, and word has it that he won't even be playing on Christmas Day, so that really sucks right there, but yet they are still now on an 11-game winning streak. Dang, that sucks. I'm sorry to any Charlotte fans out there, like for real, it looked like they were going to be able to get a good win over the Bucks yesterday. Kemba Walker was having himself a great game, but in a close game with just under 2 minutes to go in the game, Walker went down with some sort of an injury and had to leave the game. That's a real tough way to lose. Walker had 32 points before he had to leave too, and after he did leave the game, the Bucks were able to control the remainder of the game and get the 109-104 win. Hopefully it's nothing serious with Kemba Walker. Giannis, Middleton, and Bledsoe though were all huge yesterday for Milwaukee. 78 points combined between the three of them. Magic lost again, started off 6-2 and are now 11-22. Talk about night and day, that is crazy. The way they teased Magic fans at the start of the season to think that something miraculous happened and thought then they were actually good all of a sudden should be a crime. 111-97 to the Pelicans. Holiday, Cousins, Davis did 94.256% of the work yesterday for New Orleans. Cousins with 26 points, 11 rebounds, and 6 assists. Davis scored 20 and Holiday had 24. Without Damian Lillard, the Blazers didn't have much of a chance at all last night. That's the heart of their team right there, and it was apparent from the tip-off who was going to win this game. The Nuggets. And the Nuggets won 102-85. Jokic had a really nice game with 27 points, 9 rebounds, and 6 assists. Both of these teams sat at 17-14 headed into the game, so it was a pretty important game proceeding in the Eastern Conference. And it was the Pistons who were able to come away with a narrow 104-101 win over New York thanks to 25 points from Tobias Harris and 18 points and 15 rebounds from Andre Drummond, as well as Reggie Jackson, scoring most of his points in the final minutes of the fourth quarter. After going over 11 from the field in the Knicks' last game, Porzingis was 12 of 28 from the field for 29 points in this one. Wow, losses don't get much more embarrassing than this, as the Wizards get, I don't even know what you want to call this. They got by the Nets last night. 119-84. Yeah, one of those games where you just want to forget about this if you are the Wizards. Oddly enough though, even though it was a blowout, there was still no sign of Jahlil Okafor for the Nets. Good news for the Heat is that they had more players available to them last night. Instead of the 8 players they had before, they had a whopping 9 players yesterday. Man, basically the entire starting lineup for this squad is injured, and they are still finding ways to win games. They got the 113-101 win over the Mavs yesterday to advance to 17-15 on the year, so they are in the come up in the East. Look, the Eastern Conference playoff scene is going to be super close this year. Probably from like the 4th to the 10th seed, there'll be a max separation of like 2 games, or at least that's what it's looking like right now. That wraps up all the action from last night though. You guys can go vote for the player of the day by clicking this little card right here. Just remember though, the only players whose team won are eligible to win player of the day. And yesterday, you guys selected DeMar DeRozan and his career high 45 points as your player of the day. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to smack that like button, as well as the new episode of the podcast just came out yesterday. I'll have the links to that down below if you want to go check it out. It's pretty fire. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to join the quest to 200K and be a part of the hashtag 1 million in a year movement, as well as to stay up to date with everything that goes on in the NBA on a daily basis. But until tomorrow, keep getting the buckets, Team SDC, and I'm out of here. Peace.